This here is the latest phone from Google. It's the Pixel 9 Pro XL version. This here is the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, guys. Now, there is something very important. When you read all the interviews out there, you're going to see Sonia, who is the Google Pixel product manager, saying that they did not design this phone for speed and for feats. She's saying that they did not design the Tensor G4 to perform nicely on some specific benchmarks out there. It has been really designed for real use cases. One of the things that she mentioned is we knew that we have a pain point when opening apps. So they're saying that they designed the Pixel 9 to be really very good at doing everyday things, and apparently doing this without depleting your battery. So this is very, very important, guys. You're gonna see there are a lot of videos out there that are putting the Tensor G4 through some standard benchmarks like the Antutu and the Geekbench and etc, and also CPU throttling, and of course this phone is not gonna perform in the best way. But we kind of knew that, so I'm starting to think, what if I buy a car, right, a limo, and I just take this car and do off-road? Of course it's not going to work, right? So we have here a clear indication where the manufacturer is telling us, listen, this phone is not designed for speed and fits, but in the same time they're saying, listen, we have designed this phone to be really very good at everyday use cases like browsing, streaming, watching YouTube, doing whatever like an average user will do, of course taking photos and videos, also of course trying to conserve the battery. And in this video I'm going to do a full comparison between the UI, the user interface of these two phones, and also try to open standard apps, do some standard stuff that I do on a daily basis. Both phones have almost the same battery. This one is at 66%. The Pixel 9 XL Pro is at 57%. So in the course of the video, we're also going to observe how much battery will the Pixel 9 XL Pro lose versus the S24 Ultra. So remember, in this video, we're gonna see a comparison, the Pixel UI versus the One UI, the latest one, 6.1, sadly no One UI 7, Android 14 on the board, and they are running the very latest stable updates. Welcome to the Views channel, guys, buckle up and let's start. And as I'm starting the video, both phones are now at 66%. So what I wanna share, guys, is the version of the software that they're using, and you can see that is the very latest version, One UI 6.1, Android 14 on both phones, guys. The version here being AXGF. Here on the Pixel again, Android 14, using the very latest security patch from the 5th of August. So I want to also show you guys the display. When I go inside the display, I'm going to be using adaptive brightness for both phones. All right, so you can see adaptive brightness for both phones. And I'm also using the highest resolution available on the S24 Ultra. This is the QHD+. This is the full resolution here. Both phones do run at 120 Hz. This is the main home screen, and before showing you the home screen, I'm gonna try to lock both phones and show you a glance on the always-on display. So this is what we get in the One UI 6.1. You can of course change it. There are also widgets here. This is the always-on display. One tap to the screen will do nothing. One tap to the screen here will activate the lock screen. Here I need to tap twice to activate the lock screen. And I'm going to leave the phones aside, and you're going to see how they're starting to dim and also transition from the lock screen to the always-on display. So again, double tap here, one tap here will give me this nice transition between the always-on display to the lock screen. In the Samsung world, there are plenty of options that you can use to customize everything that you see here, also using good lock and etc. I'm going to also show you the customization option here. Now let me try to unlock both phones. Okay, I'm going to wait also for the Pixel to go back to the always-on display. All right, now this year both phones are using ultrasonic, and it's the first time for the Pixel device, which means that the fingerprint read scanner now is not an optical one. It will not emit light, and honestly I do prefer ultrasonic. When you use this in night, it's just so convenient. You can see how quick the S24 Ultra opens, all right, with this almost like non-animation. I'm gonna do this one more time on the Pixel so that you're able to compare it with the S24 Ultra. Okay, so one more time, and we're here. Now, pay attention to the battery life, guys, because I started the video with a quote from the Google Pixel product manager, Sonia. She was claiming that they intentionally did not design the Tensor G4 chip to be good at speeds and feeds, as she said it also. She even said, we're not trying to make the chip to perform nicely on some benchmarks. So we're rather focusing on some use case, and of course they are using real world use cases quite often, and this is what I'm gonna test in this video. But before starting any of these applications, guys, please allow me to show you the main visual differences. If you are here for the first time on my channel and you like in-depth review that focus on visuals, on animations, also on performance, on camera, sometimes mobile gaming, and in general you like tech reviews, you might want to sub for the channel to not miss out. Now, as we speak with you, the S24 Ultra already dropped to 65%. Now, why is this important, guys? Let me explain. The S24 Ultra is using the very latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, and this is a powerhouse. But also, this chip runs very hot, and without the proper cooling, you can end up with having plenty of issues such as throttling, right? And of course, with higher temperature, battery life gets affected. There are some things that really frustrate me with the S24 Ultra. For example, when I bring it outside and it gets hot, it dims the screen to try to conserve the battery, and etc, which is something that I don't quite like. It was better, but with updates somehow we ended up like this. This is why it's important to do a video where we try to do some standard stuff that like you watching this video will do when you get the phone, like opening applications, taking some pictures, and try to understand really, is Google promise valid? Because they said, listen, we know we're not good at games, we know we're not good at benchmarks, but we're gonna be very good at just opening apps, browsing the web, looking at some YouTube videos, and using the camera. And we are going to deliver this with a minimal hit to the battery. And this is what I would like to test in this video. But of course, before that, let me show you. So this here is the control center. One swipe, you get it down on One UI 6.1. One swipe here will get you this compact menu, and another swipe will reveal the control menu with something that is running beneath. We have here the most important buttons, the way you have configured them, or let's say standard, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, sound, airplane mode. What I do like on the One UI is that you have here also the brightness slider. Now in this condensed view from the Pixel, we don't have it. So if I do like this, if I want to get down to the brightness control, I will have to do one swipe and then another swipe because the brightness is on top. Now let's see how we handle notifications on both devices. If I do like this, we're gonna end up in this menu. If I swipe from the left on the Pixel, I'm gonna get the notifications. Something that I do like in the Pixel, we have this nice grouping, right? Grouping exists here as well. Right? But you have this separation, socials and then something else, and then of course you have silent notifications. So for example, if I want to uncollapse, I just do like this. And if you don't like something, just swipe left or right, and then everything's gonna go away. If you swipe one more time, you're gonna get the clear button, which you get immediately here on the One UI. Here you need to do one more swipe because this is apparently at the end. We have both manage and clear all. I'm gonna press clear so that you see how this works. All right, press clear, boom. We are now on the main home screen. If I go one step left will bring me here to Google Now. Exactly the same thing happens here. And right now both phones are at 65%. Both phones are connected to Wi-Fi. Again, auto brightness. I'm just trying to equalize all settings, and of course I do have a very similar setup here as my main home screen. Back on the main screen, right here, you're gonna get through all your different screens, right? What happens on the One UI, if you want to access the up drawer, you need to go up. Here it's the same, and the only difference here is we have this vertical drawer. A lot of people prefer this, by the way. Here you have the horizontal drawer with One UI Home. There was an option to change this, still not working for this version of One UI, but of course you can also try to use some custom launchers like Nova, Niagara. You know, there are plenty of other launchers that you can use. Here I have a widget, right? Let's click it. This is gonna bring me to the weather. If I click here, right, this is gonna bring me to the weather. By the way, this now here is the latest Pixel weather. Possible rain, so bring your umbrella. You have the same information here, although of course Pixel are trying always to stitch in AI to whatever they do. Because a lot of the improvements in the Tensor G4 chip and in the latest Pixel 9 series are connected directly to AI, right? Like with the Gemini Live and then with the things that you can do. For example, we have the Pixel Studio that you can use to generate some nice fancy stuff, but I'll probably just do a whole separate video on this because right now I want to compare like most of the basic stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go back on the home screen. All right, so one swipe here will give me directly home screen, and you can see there is a difference in the animations. One swipe will just do like a deep dive. Here on the One UI, it's a bit more flat. What happens if I hold my finger? All right, I'm gonna get to the configuration menu. So wallpaper and style, themes, widget settings, we pretty much have the same here. I kind of like this implementation a bit more because from here I'm directly able to change wallpapers. And to do this on the Galaxy, I need to click here, and only then I have to go in the wallpaper and style, and this is gonna be the same menu here. You can pretty much see like how heavily this is influenced, because again, One UI is just based on Android, and this is the way it works. Now for this comparison, guys, I'm even going to use the very same wallpaper on my Pixel 9 XL Pro, and in that way, when I'm trying to open some applications, you're going to be able to see better what happens. All right. Here we have the search bar. Here, if I go inside the up drawer, we have the search bar as well. In this box, you can try to search for whatever you want. See, if I type volume here, I can directly go to my settings and regulate the volume key action, or let's say call volume, bring volume. Pretty much the same things are implemented here. Search on app, search on YouTube. It works in a similar way. And as I said this, guys, my Pixel 9 XL Pro dropped another percent, now 64%. The S24 Ultra still runs at 65%. Now the battery here is 5060 mAh, here only 5000, so technically it should really be almost the same size. Now let me further proceed, guys. I want to show you the volume rocker. All right, if I just do like this, boom, the volume rocker on both phones. And you of course have the option to click more for more settings. This is something that I don't really like, and I say this in all my videos. It might be useful, but I do prefer this implementation more. And I somehow believe that Google needs to change this to align it more with the visual representation of all the other elements. And now, guys, also the S24 Ultra dropped to 64%. So let me go inside the settings. I want to show you again a bit more of that sweet UI. We have a search button here. Then we have the network internet. It's a bit more simplified. On the One UI, it's a bit more organized. Like for example, we have here all the connectivity, most routines, notifications. If I go inside the connections, we're gonna see that we have the same toggles. Again, heavily influenced from Android. What is also interesting is what happens when I go at the end of the menu, right? Now, even the bounciness of the phones is kind of the same. Again, Android 14. It's pretty much the same operating system with the One UI overhaul on top. Still at 64%. And now, guys, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you the recent menu. So I do it like this on the Pixel, I do it like this on my Ultra. I have a lot of applications that are open, and for the sake of this video, I'm gonna close them all. If I go to the left, clear all, right? I know that a lot of people are wondering why. This is implemented into the exact same way it's implemented in iOS, because apparently the OS knows better than you what should be open and not, and etc. So if you want to close everything, you need to go and do clear all. Again, it's not so convenient, but it's like this. Right now, there are no recent items on both phones. Also, again, not notifications. I'm gonna clear one more time everything, trying to equalize all the scenarios, guys. And now, as we are both at 64%, I'm gonna start opening some applications, because remember, one of the biggest promises that were made by Google to us is, yeah, listen, we know we're not the best at gaming, not the best at benchmarks, but we promise we're gonna do standard stuff. We're gonna do it without killing your battery. So let's try to open the folder. All right. The social folder here, okay. So far, by the way, you can see how quick the pixel animations are. Of course, they doesn't look so sophisticated, right? Even no blur applied, right? So it's all kind of like made for efficiency. When you open the folder here, you have this very nice blur that happens on the background. And on the Pixel, we don't have this, right? But again, it's just built for simplicity. So now, guys, let's start opening applications. So I'm gonna open Telegram. All right, I'm gonna scroll down so that you can see how it works. And now, guys, I'm gonna go to the very end of the list, because what I wanna check in a few minutes is if when I reopen the Telegram, the app is gonna get refreshed. Now, why is that important? This phone doesn't have all the whistles and bells that this phone has. For example, here we have UFS 4 and etc, but this phone has 16 GB of RAM. And this one has only 12 GB of RAM. So what I want to see is in 5 minutes when I reopen the Telegram, if I'm going to be there left at the end of the section, or it's going to refresh the whole app. All right, now let's try to continue with the other applications. This is going to be Messenger. Alright, and I do believe that even here, Pixel was quite a tad bit faster. And I'm gonna do the very same thing here, just scroll down to a section down below, and when reopen, check what happens. I'm still at 64% on both phones. Let's continue. The next thing is gonna be Facebook. Alright, the Pixel 9 surprises, I guess. It's really able so far to open the apps, yeah, if not faster, then at least with the same speed as the S24 Ultra. So let me just scroll down a bit. I just want to do the same exercise, scroll down and then refresh. Now I'm gonna open X. All right, I guess a bit faster on the S24 Ultra. Scrolling wise, seems to not be so fluid on the Pixel. All right, you can try to see it on your own. Okay, a bit of a stutter. And now guys, I'm gonna exit and I'm gonna go back and open Instagram. All right, I think here a bit faster, so let's try to scroll down. Something that always gets down to my nerve is what happens when I initiate, the viewfinder. You see, there is always this lag. And I guess same story with the Pixel, just change the refresh rate, different implementation in iOS. So it's clearly not a Samsung issue. It behaves the exact same way. All right, hi there. So now guys, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna exit like this. I'm gonna go to the recents menu and you're gonna see guys, right? In 10 minutes when we go back, we should be seeing the very same post and even see the viewfinder in Telegram. Okay, enough. Now let's continue and do some more testing. This time I want to open Spotify. All right, yeah, a bit faster on the S24 Ultra. Okay, by the way, both phones guys now are at 63%. Which means that S24 Ultra is able to execute the very same everyday tasks like the Pixel, and it seems to be burning about the same. Both phones are holding up quite nice. And remember that the S24 Ultra was released almost 7 months ago. Let's do a very quick animation check. Why is that important, guys? Let's see what happens. Again here, no blur, opening the app. We're inside, let's just exit. Okay, nice and bouncy animation. Here I do believe again the animations are not so sophisticated, but they feel quicker because again less sophisticated, and I do believe also higher speed and no blur whatsoever. Now it's time to check what is going to happen when we go down to the first app that we open. So let me just open the chat. All right, stay inside the memory. This is good. Okay, now let's try to see what happens with the Facebook. Oh, okay, the S24 Ultra kept it exactly the same way and the Pixel had to refresh it, sadly. All right, now let's check what is going to happen here in Instagram. Okay, even quicker, so I think this time the Pixel won. This is nice. And now let's check X or Twitter. Okay, good, both phones doing a good job. So far, so good. 62% guys. So the Pixel now is 1% lower compared to the Galaxy. And now it's time for me to start some Google things, because remember they said browsing, right? And also checking YouTube, things like this. And I want to watch a 4K 60 FPS HDR video. So how do I know it's like this? I'm gonna go hit quality advanced and I'm gonna choose the highest available resolution. All right, let's put it on full screen and try to watch it for a few minutes to see how much battery we're gonna lose on both phones. Now remember, we have 62 here and we have 62. So we're starting at exactly the same levels. Both phones 4K HDR 60 FPS. After a few minutes, I'm happy to report that both phones are at 61%. I'm also going to measure the temp, 37.9 for the Pixel 9 XL Pro, 36.3. All right, so it seems that the Pixel 36.1 is running a bit hotter, 38.2. But again, this is nothing major. So right now it seems that at least what Google promised, they are able to deliver. But it also means that the S24 Ultra is as well very good at doing these everyday things. Now, 60% on the Pixel 9 XL Pro, 61 here. In the next test, I want to open the camera, UHD 60 FPS, okay, UHD 60 FPS. I'm gonna do the same here, so it's gonna be 4K 60 FPS. What I want to do is, let's say, record a video, 2 minutes video, 3 minutes video, and see how much battery I'm gonna lose. So I'm gonna start in 3, 2, 1, let's record. we are almost done. 5-minute mark, I'm gonna stop it here. 5-minute mark here. I'm gonna exit 59% on the S24 Ultra, 58%. I'm gonna do also a temp check, guys. 41.1 on the Tensor G4, 40.3, so I do believe circa the same temps. And now the next test I want to do, of course, it's gonna be something that I do every day, a real use case scenario. I'm gonna initiate a video call through Messenger, all right, for another 5 minutes. So I'm just going to pick that up. All right, now let's stop the call. Going back to the home screen, 58% and 57% here, so very stable, although the Pixel 9 Pro XL is only lagging by 1%. And what I'm gonna do in this test right now, again, real usage, guys, I'm gonna install the Asphalt Legends Unite, all right? As you can see, it is rather huge, more than 3 GB, so I'm gonna download it, right? Both phones are connected to the very same Wi-Fi, so let's see how much battery we're gonna lose. 56 here, 55 still here. Then I'm gonna play the game for a few minutes and see what the toll on the battery will be. The S24 dimmed the screen a bit, so I'm just going to click it to undim. Same happened here on the Pixel, so I just want the phones to be at the full brightness. 54% on the Pixel 9 Pro XL, 55% on the S24 Ultra, and the S24 Ultra is almost at 50%, here almost at 47%. Okay. An interesting moment, now the Pixel 9 XL Pro, 80%, overtaking a bit the Galaxy in terms of how fast it's downloading the game. Well, of course, paying the price with a bit of a battery life. At 53% here, the Samsung S24 Ultra somehow seems stuck. 79% still downloading, and we are at 55% battery. Now, what is happening? Okay, we can clearly see 9 minutes left. All right, let's see here. 46 seconds left. So I'm not sure if somehow the Pixel was able to get priority on the track. Again, they are connected to the very same 5G Max Wi-Fi. Should be plenty of bandwidth for both. Now the S24 Ultra is able to resume, but it seems that surprisingly the Pixel 9 Pro XL gonna be able to download the game first. Now, downloading is one thing, guys. Installation is a whole other thing. So after the download, the phone will have to install the game, and let's see how well this goes. A real use case, guys. This is what I wanted to do with the Pixel, since again the claim from the manufacturer, from Google, is they know they're not good at benchmarks and stuff like this. So, game installed. I have the play button here, 53%. Game still downloading on the S24 Ultra. So in this very specific scenario, the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL was quicker than the S24 Ultra. Now I'm gonna hit play, okay. Let's see who is gonna start first. All right, still at the logo here, S24 Ultra taking up the edge with loading the game quicker. All right, welcome. This one was first. A second loading screen, and we are already at the intro, I guess. Now we are here as well on the Pixel. All right, let me just try to speed it up, guys. And remember, this phone had 1% more of a battery. All right, and now I will have to drive two cars at the same time. Okay, this is gonna be some advanced works. All right, these icons show possible options you can choose. Let me try to drift with both cars. And I'm gonna try to use the intro as well. Okay. Whew, the graphics seem stunning, by the way. All right, let's try to drift again. Okay. Cool. All right. Need to turn left. All right. Nice graphics on both phones. Again, let's try to do the drift. All right, some nitro. I can feel the screen becoming very hot on both phones, so I'm gonna do also a measurement and the temp. All right, shockwave gives you a huge boost. I'm gonna use the nitro again. Let's get this. All right. Let's try to measure some temps like I said. 41.3 on the Pixel 9 and just a bit slower on the Galaxy. Right, for the sake of the test, I'm gonna go back to my home screen. This is me exiting. So 52% on the Google Pixel, 53% on the S24 Ultra. So far it really seems that the Pixel is not lagging behind with so much. And remember, even some of the apps open faster, quicker on the Pixel. So is this a good sign, guys? I really believe so. With all these tests that I did in this video, I do believe that this device has a very good premise to really reconfirm the original statement from the guys that did it, Google, right? You will not be able to play at 60 FPS all the nice games and this and that, but for everyday use, this should be good. Now, the thing is, will you get more battery compared to using something with an Gen 3? That's debatable, right? Because see here, we started up from 66% down to 51 on the Pixel and 53 on the S24 Ultra, and the S24 Ultra still being 7 months old. This is a brand new phone. I still believe, right, that it should be potentially further optimized, but so far this is the reality. Very smooth operation, no lags, no stutters. You can do plenty of things and you can do them in a very good way without losing quite too much of a battery. Let me know, guys, what you think down below in the comments. Do you think that Google are able to keep their promise, or it's another gimme shit trick? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay safe, VST over and bye.